Freedom and beauty to everyone. I am the Technomage and welcome to my review of The Mandalorian Season 3 Episode 1. Finally, Season 3 of The Mandalorian is here, and this first episode, my review is going to be short because honestly, not a lot happens. And what happens, we already knew from the Book of Boba Fett. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So the episode begins with the armorer working on a helmet. For whom? It is the initiation rite of a young foundling, the same way Din Djarin said he did in his youth, and everything seems to go fine. But hey, wait a minute! What is that? Yes, a giant monster appears out of nowhere. And I'm like, seriously? None of the Mandalorians in there thought about investigating the place, making sure that nothing like this happened? They are supposed to be the greatest warriors in the galaxy, right? But they fight like schmucks. A few of them jump on his back and plant those very little grenades, but it is a giant monster with a very thick carapace. Don't they think that maybe those things will be ineffective? And by the way, they were very ineffective. And then the worst part, they latched to it with cables. It's a giant monster of who knows how many tons of weight. Do they really think that they would be able to hold it down amongst 6 or 10 normal human Mandalorians? By the way, they don't. The monster just swings them around like puppets. And this scene was really stupid. Like I said, they fight with no strategy at all. Luckily, Mando appears and saves the day with his new ship. So Mando goes to talk with the armorer, and she reminds him that he's no longer Mandalorian since he removed his helmet, as we saw in the Book of Boba Fett.
The creed teaches us of redemption.
And Mando reminds her that there is a test that he can pass to regain his status within the tribe, again, as we already saw on the Book of Boba Fett. This conversation is actually a rehash of what they already talked about in the Book of Boba Fett. So this first episode is actually kind of a reminding of what happened on the Book of Boba Fett for those who didn't saw the series or don't know what happened on it. So Mando has the idea of going to Mandalore and bathing on the living waters and bringing proofs from it. Again, a quest that we already knew that he had to complete in order to return to the tribe, as we saw on the Book of Boba Fett. So, the first stop on his mission is Nevarro, and they have really gentrified this place. In there, he goes to speak with Grief Karga, played again by Carl Weathers, and tries to convince him to remain in Nevarro to be their new marshal, because Cara Dune left to join the New Republic's special forces. But Mando reminds us that he already completed his quest of bringing Grogu to the Jedi, and then that he was brought back to him again, as we already saw on the Book of Boba Fett. Now some old pirate pirates, old acquaintances of Karga appear and they start some trouble, but Mando and Karga make quick work of them. Now Mando finally explains why he is on Nevarro. He needs help on his quest on Mandalore, and he says he needs IG-11. Wait, what? IG-11 self-destructed with a thermal detonator on its chest piece. Thermal detonators don't leave pieces to be for repairs. Thermal detonators vaporize, atomize everything on their blast radius. It is impossible that anything had survived that explosion at all. But Mando goes off anyway to find the missing pieces he'll need to repair what's left of IG-11. So Mando arrives on a new planet in the Mandalorian sector, and on that planet there is a Mandalorian castle. And what and or who is on that Mandalorian castle? Bo-Katan. And Mando goes to join her on her mission to reclaim Mandalore. But there's just a little problem with that. Bo-Katan has no army because she failed to retrieve the Darksaber. The Darksaber is in Mando's possession, and without the lightsaber, Bo-Katan cannot claim to be the leader of the Mandalorians, and she has no one to follow her into Mandalore and reclaim the planet. Again, as we already saw in Mandalorian Season 2 and the Book of Boba Fett. So Bo-Katan just tells him where the mine he needs to find is located on Mandalore, and that's the end of the episode. And again, as I said, not a lot happens on this episode because this is just a previously on the Book of Boba Fett and the Mandalorian Season 2 recap episode to just bring people up to speed if they didn't saw the Book of Boba Fett. So we will have to wait till next week for the plot to actually start moving properly. And that's the end of this video. This is the Technomage signing off. Thank you for watching. I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.